Riverside County Superior Court Judge Burke Strunsky has announced he is challenging incumbent County District Attorney Mike Hestron in the upcoming election. I spoke with Strunsky about why he's running and what he would do if elected top prosecutor. Burke, first off, why are you running for district attorney?
Well, hello, Peter. Yeah, I'm running because our current district attorney has failed. The incumbent district attorney is Mike Hestron, as I think everybody knows. And I believe that I can no longer stand aside as I watch Riverside County's homicide rate soar, as millions of the tax dollars of the county are wasted, as the current district attorney's independence is compromised, and as talented lawyers, unfortunately, leave the office in droves. So those are the reasons why I'm running.
So if you're elected, how would you plan to address that?
Well, first of all, I think it's important that we not adopt these polarizing labels that have really plagued our ability to focus on the two core functions of any district attorney, which is, of course, keeping people safe and getting true justice for victims. So the bottom line is I think we need to focus more on those objectives and really determine what a prosecutor's role is. And as I said, in my opinion, a prosecutor's role is to get true justice for victims and focus on public safety.
For folks who don't know you, Burke, tell us a little about yourself and what makes you, in your opinion, qualified to be district attorney.
Very good. So I've been a judge for about 5 years, and I was a prosecutor for about 15 years before that. So I worked all types of criminal cases, a lot of cases in which the victims, unfortunately, were children. I focused on crimes against children. I was also in the homicide unit as a prosecutor for several years and had the privilege of prosecuting dozens of homicide cases. But in the last 5 years, I've been a judge. I've been presiding over serious criminal matters, felony criminal matters. And I've certainly touched thousands of criminal cases and made some decisions, as well as prosecuted some very difficult cases and legal issues.
I know you mentioned crime. What are some concrete ways that you think you could help reduce the crime in Riverside County?
Well, I think it goes back to our core missions again, which is essentially say, not only can we prove a case, but also we have to look at, does proceeding on that case further the core missions of a prosecutor? And if it doesn't, we need to really ask, why are we proceeding on these cases? Are we doing it merely to rack up or mindlessly rack up statistics? Or are we doing it because it actually does make the people of Riverside County safer? It does get true justice for victims. So those are questions that I don't think are asked enough by our current district attorney. And that's certainly my philosophy of what a prosecutor truly is.
And let me ask you, Burke, if you are elected, what will we see 1 year into your role that will be your mark?
Okay, well, I'm not sure 1 year is a good benchmark because there's going to be a lot of changes that need to take place during the time that I become district attorney. I think we need to, the one thing that I have really highlighted in coming out in this campaign is the fact that we are proceeding with having the most death penalty prosecutions, a lot of times in the entire country. There's even 1 year where Riverside County had more death penalty prosecutions than the entire state of Texas. And so I think we really have to ask ourselves, for a penalty that has not been implemented since literally John F. Kennedy was in the White House. So November 29th, 1961 was the last time any Riverside County conviction resulted in an actual execution. We have to ask ourselves, does that in fact get true justice for victims? Does that in fact act as a deterrent to violent crime?
Before we let you go, Burke, anything else you would like the voters here in the Coachella Valley to know?
Well, I think I'm running because I know we can do better here in Riverside County. And I think I understand the values and what is needed here as far as our criminal justice system. We've seen in the last 5 years, the homicide rate in Riverside County has gone up double-digit percentages in 4 of the last 5 years. Well, statewide, it has gone down 3 of the last 4 years. And I think what is most alarming is in Riverside County, since Mike Hestrin became district attorney in 2015 to 2020, which are the last numbers that are available, the homicide rate in Riverside County has increased by 70%. Well, in California, that is 5 times the amount it has increased in California statewide. So we really see that Riverside County is in a very different position than the state, which is, and I bring that home because Mike Hestrin so often points to the fact that these state reforms are responsible for the crime increases in Riverside County. And I think when we compare the increases, especially in homicides in Riverside County, to the state at large, we really see that that is really Mike Hestrin's way of concealing his own failures to protect the people of Riverside County.
All right, Burke, we appreciate your time. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
And coming up later this week, we will be sitting down with Mike Hestrin to talk about the upcoming election.